Guys, it's me. I'm back.
What's up, party people? We're like, Max, come on.
All right, this show is taking a turn for the. What's going on, party people? Welcome to another episode of Monster Bass Live. If this is your first time tuning in, where the hell you been? I mean, I do this every Thursday, and we seem to have a pretty good time. So I don't know what you've been waiting on, but I'm glad that you're here. I got a really special guest today. It's Miles Burghoff. I don't know if you know him, but you're going to learn a little bit about him tonight. He's I've known him for a little bit, and it'll be good to catch up. I haven't talked with him in a while, and so I'm happy to have him on the show. Man, this month is off to a killer start. Like the Z-Man box. Where's that box? Yeah, the Z-Man box has been just crushing it. Like, I'm going to sell out of those things way sooner than, like, the end of the month like I anticipated. If you haven't gotten one, we're going to go through it tonight. We're going to talk about a little bit about it. We're going to talk about the baits with Miles because, you know, he is sponsored by Z-Man. So he knows a few things about the baits, obviously a lot more than I do. I want to say thank you to my sponsors. Show, as always, Liquid Death. Got to drink that mountain spring water. Hopefully you can get rid of this cough. I know you guys have noticed, you know, I've been hacking away since, you know, we've all gotten together. I've gone to the doctors. I don't have the COVID, but clearly there's something wrong with me. And so we're doing all sorts of tests. They just signed me up for 2 more tests. Now we're testing to see if, like, I've had mold exposure. We're trying to test and see if I've got food allergies. It's out of control. You know it. The greatest customer service team in the planet. They're man in the chat. I'm sure we've got Bethany Rudd in here. So let's make sure we're super nice to Bethany. If you got any questions, you know, ask away. That's what we do here. I'm gonna pour a glass of wine here for our producer, for Jared. There you go, buddy. Today we're drinking a 2018 Franciscan Cabernet. Yeah, you know, sure it's pretty good. It's been open for an hour. It's a big week. We're going to celebrate here because not only is it Z-Man month, cheers, Jared, but it's also the Super Bowl. You know, and as a little kid growing up in Syracuse, New York, I always thought to myself, I always told my mom, I'm going to move to LA when I get older, and I'm going to go to USC. Ooh, I'm going to be a fighting Trojan. And then, of course, I got to Los Angeles, and I went to visit USC, and it's in the ghetto, and I was like, wait a minute. All right, so it was a rough day for my Lakers today. You know, the trade deadline came and passed, and we didn't trade anyone away. And, you know, our season was over before it even started. The moment we traded for Russell Westbrook and got rid of all our young talent. What a disaster. Don't get me started on this. Like, LeBron James is a great player, but he's a horrible general manager, and I don't know what he's thinking. I mean, at the end of the day, why do we even do stuff like this? The guy can't shoot the three. I can shoot the three better than him. So, Rob Palenka, if you're looking for someone to come off the bench and drop an occasional three, give me a call. I'll work for the league minimum. God. I'd love to know everyone's thoughts on the Super Bowl, too. I mean, obviously, I'm pulling for the Rams. T-Rex is pulling for the Rams 35-24. What do you guys got? Put it in the chat. Today's Super Chat. Let's get crazy. Let's get crazy. What can we give away? I got lots of stuff to give away. I'll find an extra big box full of crap from the garage. Let's make this one. I've done a really good job of cleaning up the garage. I don't even know if I have enough left. I might give away a gift card. How's this? The Super Chat today is for a $200 store gift card. Am I going to get in trouble for that? I hope marketing's not paying attention. I just gave away $200. All right, Super Chat. Every dollar's worth an entry, and every question that you call in and ask Miles or myself is worth 10 points or 10 entries. So there you go. Super chat away, folks. All right, let's not waste any time. I got to tell you guys. So I'm working in this office, and these people upstairs, I got an open office environment, and there's a group upstairs having a meeting, and they've been dicking around all day, and I got to tell you, they're really starting to make me mad. I might have to go to the backyard. I may have to start doing the show from the backyard again. Either that or I need to drink this entire bottle of wine and go upstairs and kick somebody's butt because this is ridiculous. I'm a really nice person, but, I mean, they've been doing, like, pull-ups and just acting like jackasses. Like, the guy's playing with a type... Let's talk about fishing. All right, Jared. Let's open up the phone line. Because my guest today... Hold on. I'm turning this off. All right. Hey, Instagram people, head over to YouTube. Let's get this party started. We're going to answer all your questions. You can tune in. You can call in. And you can win yourself a bunch of stuff. Plus, you get to talk to myself and Miles. So I'll see you guys later. All right. Let's get rid of that. My guest today, guys. Jared, are you gonna open that phone line or not? Oh my God, we can't screw this up. We got Miles on the other line. I got to bring him in. It's been a long time since I talked with him. I got a lot to catch up on. All right, first of all, thank you, Scott Hughes, for the super chat. I Venmo'd you. And we got Joe M. Golden ticket numbers get called. All right, we'll talk about golden tickets in a little bit. Oh my God, there's Pedo. Pedo's down in Mexico. Probably having a different kind of trip than when he and I went down. His old man spring break. But cheers to you, Pedo. And where's my red wine? All right, so my guest today, guys. My guest. This guy's a hell of a stick. He may not be the household name that you're used to because it doesn't end in Van Dam or something. But let me tell you a little bit about this cat. In 2011, he won the Collegiate Bass Championship. Okay? He's the host of Sweetwater TV. Airs on the Sportsman Channel. Now, we're not talking about some, public access stuff. No, like a real TV show on a real channel. You've probably seen him on social media under Sonar Fishing. He even finds time, I don't know how, to fish the MLF. That's quite a bit. And he's good enough that Z-Man actually sponsored him. So let's give a big warm welcome to our guest today, Miles Burghoff. How's it going, man?
What's going on, man?
How are you?
Too long.
I know. I haven't talked to you in quite some time. Where in the world are you right now?
So I'm down in Florida right now. I did a little bit of pre-practice, and we've got the MLF Pro Circuit event on the Harris Chain coming up here in Central Florida. And we're also doing some filming for the show that I host, Sweetwater. And so we're going to be down here doing that for the next, few days. And then, from there, it's just another wild ride, man. My schedule is cram-packed with travel.
Cram-packed. So how long you been? So Sweetwater's in what year? What season?
7, I think.
Jesus.
7 or 8, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, no kidding. So how do you find time to do that and fish a tour?
Well, I gotta show you my schedule. I was just looking at it and almost brought a tear to my eye. But this right here, everything on here, I've got this little chunk right here that actually has a little bit of time off. So I make it work, man. I love what I do, and I guess that's the only reason I can kind of keep things going, man, full steam ahead, because I just love it. I love the fishing industry, and I love just going out there and grinding it out.
It really is some of the best, some of the nicest people ever, right? Like I came from high tech, like when someone wins a tournament in fishing, like you're going to go and congratulate your competitors. Like, and when I was in high tech, when you lost a deal, I'll give you a good example. I won a deal. I won a deal selling a bunch of software to Taco Bell. And when we won the deal, I sent over 1,000 tacos from Taco Bell to the CFO and the sales rep at the other company. Because
God,
that's what you just did. We bought tacos for the entire company. Now, of course,
that's great.
you know, I'm sure they sent them away and everything, but like, you just didn't do stuff like there was no like congratulatory, like, hey, you won the deal, like, because you know you're talking about, you know, just a totally different industry. So when I moved into fishing, I was like, wow, everybody's so nice. I can never leave this sport. Like, I will always work in this industry.
Oh, for sure. I don't see myself doing anything else. I mean, I went all in after high school. I moved to Florida to live in a travel trailer for, you know, I went to college.
Yeah.
And so I've done nothing but fishing. I have no plan B, and it's really worked out for me. And I couldn't be happier about being in this industry, man. Just like you said it. And, you know, all the companies I work with are incredible. They're like family to me, and it's the same goes for like Z-Man, you know, that we're talking about tonight. Those guys are like, you know, brothers and sisters to me. You know, they're awesome. They're incredible.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about Z-Man because this is a pretty special month for us, and we're really excited. We partnered with Z-Man, and they took over the entire box. And you know, I've done a bunch of takeovers in my time. And a lot of times, you know, I turn companies away because they just want to throw in their overstock. They're using it as a way to get rid of inventory. And so I'm really picky about who we partner with. And you know, when we got together with Daniel at Z-Man, we asked him to recommend the baits in the box. And the only caveat I said was, I really want everything to work together. And I want it to be like the best colors. Like, let's assume that no one's ever heard of Z-Man before, which obviously isn't the case. And let's give them like 8 baits that all work together, best colors, everything, so that we know, like, when someone picks this up, they're like, yes, this is exactly what I needed. And these guys nailed it. So how long? So you've been with Z-Man for how long?
As long as the show's been, so the partnership with myself, D-Man, started back when the show started, and then they, you know, decided to partner with me in the tournament fishing, and so it's been about 7 years now, and it's been an awesome relationship for sure.
It's amazing, And so
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you some baits, and I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to mind, or I want you to tell me what your thoughts are. So this is these are 2 baits that they paired together. This is a cross-eyed.
Sam Rayburn.
It's like I'm playing Jeopardy.
Dude, you told me to tell you exactly what comes to mind.
Yeah. So this is a cross-eyed chatterbait paired with what is this thing?
That's the razor shads.
The razor shads.
That's set up fire craw, man.
Yeah, these things are so good. Like, oh, you have one too.
Oh, I even got the Mini Max there too.
Nice.
The new one.
Tell me about the Mini Max. I'm not really familiar with the Mini Max.
All right, so like the name implies, they wanted to create a smaller bladed chatterbait, but not one that's really a finesse chatterbait. I wouldn't consider it a finesse because you look at it, it still has a really super strong hook, and so you can use it on a heavier line. It's just a smaller profile. So you got this hand-tied skirt there, and the blade is much smaller. You can see. I don't know if you're seeing that, but quite a bit smaller, and it's just a more compact profile. That bait is really sweet when you're trying to imitate smaller bait fish and smaller forage.
So better in a pond situation as opposed to a finesse presentation. So you can fish it like a normal. You can fish it like a normal chatterbait.
Right. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, and you don't have to use light line with it. You can use. I wouldn't go 20-pound test as much, but I would go like 15-pound tests because it has that heavy hook. So it's still a power fishing bait, but it's really optimized for. I like it in the fall because a lot of times, especially on Lake Chickamauga where I live, those bait fish are just super tiny, and so you want to match the hatch, so to speak. So the Any man does a good job with that.
Wait a minute. You live on Chickamauga?
Heck yeah.
That's where you moved after California?
Yep. We've lived there for 4 years now.
You know, we're coming down to Chickamauga. Like the whole team. We're coming down to film.
Really?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to see our new property. We just bought 17 acres in Dayton.
Oh my God. See, this is what I tell. This is what I tell. I had this conversation with my friends last night. What am I doing? I am in the rat race, and you've lived in California, so you know how it is. I went on Zillow, and the moment I went on Zillow, I realized I've dug a hole that I'm not going to be able to get out of, because I look at homes and I'm like, oh my God, I can get like this brand new house, 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, more square footage than I ever need for the price of my garage in California. Like, it's ridiculous.
You can get a mansion. You can get a mansion. It is awesome over in Tennessee, man. I love it. And of course, my hometown burned down, so
yeah, that's sad. That's sad.
Yeah,
that's crazy. All right, tell me about
the Freedom Chatterbait, man. Oh, yeah, man. That one's a sweet one. So, all right, so that Chatterbait is that's the Chatterbait CFL or Freedom CFL. Let me pull it, because I want to see all the colors that they have. I haven't used it nearly as much recently, but the one thing I was really excited about that in particular Chatterbait is the fact that it does. A lot of people like to throw like a hard head, one of those swing heads.
Mm-hmm.
That's a way to throw a swing head with a Chatterbait design. So you got that Chatterbait blade, but you've got that football head, swing head design, so you can really bump it into hard cover. So it's like, if I'm fishing shallow, like sand drops or shell beds, like the Mississippi River last year at the MLF title, that is a legit Chatterbait for that situation. When you're trying to dig into the bottom and really just keep that thing just like you would a swing head. But it works in a lot of different situations too. It's actually really good bait around grass, despite its pretty bulbous head on it.
Yeah, and I think the head's actually made of a zinc composite.
That's exactly right.
So when it's swinging and it's banging off, it's got a totally different sound.
Totally different sound and way more durable, because part of the problem was with lead that there's so much contact between the blade and the head that the lead was actually getting pretty beat up. So and it does put off a completely different sound, which you're not going to get with any other Chatterbait.
Hey, we got a question here. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
I was just going to say, I don't know any other bait that's made of zinc.
No, I don't know either. When I found out, I was really surprised. And
yeah,
but then again, it is a collaboration with Freedom Tackle, and the good fine folks up at Freedom Tackle are Canadian, and they do tend to care a little bit more about the environment than the bottom line dollar first and foremost. But I'm just saying.
We forgot about that point too.
Right. So good on Freedom Tackle and Z-Man for partnering with them. Hey, John M wants to know, what's your go-to Chatterbait and why?
All right, John. So I'm going to have to say, for the most part, and this is going to be really, boring, because everybody knows it's the jackhammer. I mean, I love the jackhammer. That one is my number one go-to. But recently, Z-Man's really introduced a lot of other Chatterbaits that I've started to use a lot. Like when I was down at Sam Rayburn, I had an area where I was fishing cypress trees. And that's when the cross-eyes Chatterbait, the one with the weed guard, they got these 2 wire weed guards on there. Okay, so you can fish around hard cover. The jackhammer you can't generally use around hard cover without it snagging a little bit. So this one kind of replaces the jackhammer in that situation. But long story short, it's for sure the jackhammer. It's just a fish catching machine, but I've got a lot of other Chatterbaits that I use for specific situations.
All right, I want to stop you. You said the jackhammer, okay? So I'm a newbie, okay, and I see Chatterbaits that range from, I could almost make the argument that you make a bladed jig, you jack the price up because it seems like it's become this popular thing. First it was like jackhammer, then the thunder cricket, and now everyone comes out with their bladed jig, and we all know that bladed jigs aren't created equal. But why is a guy like, so I'm a newbie, why do I want to go drop $15.99? Like, what makes the jackhammer so special? Because everybody that fishes it says that it's amazing.
There's a lot of things. It also has that the first thing is just kind of that magical factor. It just is a fish catcher for whatever reason. It just has a slightly different action to it. It does hunt. Most of the jackhammers that I have, it has that hunting action, so it wants to kind of go side to side, and that's really important. But I think what really is the jackhammer, the best chatterbait, or that there is really, I'll go out on a limb and say that is because of the components that they use. There's no other chatterbait that has those type of components. Everything from the snap, the specialized snap that they use. I think that the shape of that egg-shaped snap also adds to the action overall. The hand-tied skirt, the colors that they make, and just all the components, and also the trailer keeper is absolutely legit. It's the best on the market, especially when you're using it with a Laztec. It's got those two real prominent wire hooks molded in there. But really, it's the act. It does have a slightly different action than any other chatterbait. It does have that hunting action, and it goes extremely well through grass. It works extremely well, just casting around cover, and it just has that magical factor that is just a little bit different. The only thing I can compare it to is the old pre-Rapala wiggle warts. That everybody talks about, the old wiggle warts, the original. It's made of something just a little bit different, and it creates a little bit different action, but the fish eat it, 10-1 over the newer versions.
Yeah, it's crazy. I see these wiggle warts online, and people are dropping like $100 to get the old school, and I'm like, why can't I just why can't you take an old one and just go reverse engineer it? And everyone just says you can't because of the ABS is just different or something. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think they used a different type of plastic. I think it was, I don't even want to butcher the name of it, but
no, tell me.
I think it's butyrate or something like that. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what let me look that up, man.
Yeah,
I need to figure out.
Hold on, I'm gonna get my factory on the line too.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on. Kevin, hey, this is Rick over at Monster Bass. Miles is going to tell me what the old wiggle warts were made from, and I want you to reverse engineer the crap out of these things, and we're going to come out with them, and we're going to call them, I don't know, we'll come up with a name, but we're going to wait until Miles tells us exactly what it is. And
it's
going to
not
make
butyrate, because I'm getting all kinds of.
All right. While you're looking that up, it's time for a golden ticket. And so if you're sitting out there wondering, like, what the heck is a golden ticket? Every box has an individually numbered golden ticket. It's just like Willy Wonka when you're growing up, except for better. And why do I think it's better? Because Bassin' with Marco just said, I won the golden ticket and was surprised at the amount of stuff that I got. I want to win again. So there you go. So if you win, if I call out your name or your number, and you've got this, take a picture of yourself with a ticket, email it in to marketing@monsterbass.com. I'll send you a big box full of crap from the garage. Trust me, when I say it's a box full of crap from the garage, that's a good thing, because it's full of all sorts of nonsense. All right, first ticket today, Q5337J6343. There you go. First golden ticket. All right, Miles looks like he's still studying for his final exam, so we're going to give away one more golden ticket right now. U3620P1875. Jared, that's the second golden ticket. I had to wake Jared up. I gave him a little bit of wine, and so he's a little slower than usual. Hold on. I'm gonna top him off. We only get one bottle per show, because, anything more than one bottle, we might not have a show. Okay. Well, with $4.99, you can actually buy a couple houses in Italy. I just watched a BBC special about how they're giving away homes for $1 in these, basically in these fortified cities that they're trying to recreate. Now, you got to put some money into them, but still a buck's a buck. Oh my God, Jared Godfrey. So take away the Chatterbait. What Z-Man is next on your... So take away the Chatterbait. Oh, all right. Miles. First of all, Jason Godfrey, thank you so much. Secondly, take away the Z-Man Chatterbait. What would be your next go-to bait from Z-Man?
Oh man, I would have to say that one's a really hard one. It really depends on where I'm at, but I use I flip a lot, and I love the palmetto bugs. And the palmetto bugs is a bait that I don't have right here with me, but it's kind of been overshadowed by some of the newer flipping baits. Like they got the Hellcross. I got the Hellcross here. There's that. And I should have said another bait, and I'll mention that one too. But you got the new Helicross, which this one's got a lot more action.
Sure.
Yeah, and then you got the goat, and the goat is one I actually won a lot of money on last year. I finished
How
sixth
much?
at the MLF.
So
What's that?
What is six win you?
So sixth was I think 18,000. I'll have to look at it. It was a good chunk of change, man. It was a good chunk of change. But yeah, the palmetto bugs, man, I flipped that thing, and I catch so many fish. In fact, the Harris chain 2 years ago, I got sixth place also out here at the MLF event, and that was on the palmetto bugs exclusively. So
isn't that what Latimer won on too?
Yes, yeah.
See, I'm not just a pretty face.
Catcher.
I'm not gonna lie. I got that from Jason Beck. I didn't really know. All right. Oh my God. Let me see what else I got in here. I'm telling you, this box that we lined up with the fine folks at Z-Man. Not only do they make these baits that like last forever, like, I mean, come on. Here's another one.
There you go.
When are you throwing? Under what conditions are you throwing something like this?
All right, so that right there is something I actually throw quite a bit. That's the minnows, and then you got the
swim eye.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They got so many jig heads, man. It's crazy. Yeah, but so both of those are a situation. I've actually got a ton of videos on my YouTube channel, Sonar Fishing, on that bait, that setup. And also one of their other ones, the finesse-eyes jig head. Those are two of my favorite jig heads for that. So the minnows in that is just great for, again, if you're trying to target bait fish or fish that are focusing on bait fish that are small. That's where I'd be throwing it. And usually, especially on chick, man, they just eat that rig up. And especially in the late fall, all the way through the early spring, there's a ton of small shad running around all over the place, and that's one of the only things I can get them to eat.
Amazing.
Yeah, but the swim-bait eye is a really good jig head. Again, finesse eyes is a really good one as well. Those are pretty much my two favorite for the minnows. Yeah.
What do you say?
The cool thing
yeah, go ahead.
No, the cool thing about both of those jig heads that I just mentioned, especially the swim-bait eye, is the fact that they've got that big eye. That big eye. A lot of fish. I mean, it's not just anglers being picky. A lot of fish really key in on that eye. And that's real important for them. So that's why I like to use something that has that real prominent eye on it. Bass don't like things looking at them.
I get it. What do you say we go to the phone lines? I mean, I'm looking here, and we got somebody. He's been on hold for 19 minutes. Before we go to the phone lines, I want to tell everybody, Somebody just dropped off. I'm going to start powering through phone calls. So you don't even have to donate to Super Chat. Every question you ask, 10 entries into our Super Chat giveaway. So line up the hotline. Let's get those calls coming. And to my good friends over at School of Fish, watch out for Rafi. He's going to be sending over an email to you because I made a suggestion to Rafi about this little shindig we're doing down in Florida and how maybe there's a way for you guys to get involved and you know, and if you guys do, the bonus is I might want to come down and go fishing with you guys, but I might want to, you know, dip my toes in the salt water and you guys can take me out for some saltwater fishing because, you know, you got to expose that to me because, you know, I'm a newbie. Dirk Wiggler. Oh, my God. That would be such a great name for a bait. Rafi, hurry up. Trademark that right now.
T-Man's going to come. The Dirk Wiggler.
Damn it. Jay Fishman, keep your golden tickets forever. Keep them. Keep them forever. They're good forever. All right, let's hit the phone lines. We are going to go to California and talk with no stranger to the show. He's called in 22 times.
Whoa.
Yeah. Not even close to the tops. Let's get him on here. What's going on, T-Rex? Uh-oh, hold on. God, Jared's already drunk. He screwed up the show. Are you here?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Thank God.
Hello.
What's going on, man?
Oh, not much. Just been running around with my puppy all day trying to train her, and I want to train her how to get on the boat and go fishing with me, so I got somebody to go fishing with me.
Well, you should watch some videos with Mikey Balls because that guy's always got his dog on the boat.
Yeah, he does.
So how you doing, man?
So,
you got a question for Miles?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Miles, I love the razor shad. What's your favorite way to fish it?
So the razor shad, I love the razor shads too. Honestly, the only real situation I'm throwing the razor shads is on as a trailer on something. Personally, it's usually just on the back of a chatterbait. And the razor shads, I started using it like 2 years ago and fell in love with it for colder water situations. A lot of times when the water's warmer, I'm going to be using something that's a boot style, you know, swim bait, like the diesel minnows or the minnows, something like that. But the razor shad is great for this time of year when you're trying to get kind of a glide out of a bait when you pause it. So like a chatterbait, what happens with like a paddle tail a trailer is that paddle tail create, you know, it acts as like a parachute, so it kind of stops the bait and the bait goes vertical. It just goes straight down to the bottom. But with the razor shads, there's none of that. You know, it's not creating that parachute motion. It's essentially just allowing that bait to kind of glide horizontally a little bit more. And so I like it when I'm fishing a chatterbait, you know, and just yo-yoing that chatterbait. And, you know, this is a technique that I used quite a bit at Sam Rayburn. You know, when I'm fishing it, chatterbait through grass, a lot of times I'm just fishing it almost like a jig, like you're stroking a jig, but a little bit slower. And I love fishing that razor shads with that technique because of that glide, which I think is really important.
Ah, good deal. Yeah, I basically fish it the same way myself. But I recently, you know, because I'm here in California and I fish Millerton, Pine Flat, Kauai. Recently started using it on a drop shot with a spear point hook, and I've just been crushing it in the cold water.
Heck yeah, man. That's awesome. I mean, there's so many things that you can do with that bait for sure. You know, and I don't want to, you know, show people that I just use it one way. Which I personally do, but everybody else can go out there and fish it a bunch of different ways. It could work great as a jerk bait by itself, you know, with like a 5/0 EWG hook. You can fish it as a jerkbait like that. And it's also pretty buoyant, so you can fish it as a jerkbait closer to the top, almost as a top water. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do with the razor shads, but I definitely am in love with that thing as a chatterbait and swim jig trailer.
Yeah. And Rick,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to need a VIP code for a rod. My fishing partner slammed my Abu Garcia in the tailgate of my truck.
Shut up.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Well, all right. Tell me.
$300 pole.
Oh.
Snap.
Okay, so tell me. Here's what you got to do.
Luckily, it was after the tournament.
Email me, and tell me the type of rod it is. I'll go look in the garage and see what I got. And you pay the shipping, I'll send you the rod.
I think your
All
partner.
right. I might just come down and get it.
Oh, I like that even better. We can go. Rafi's got this new backyard. So Rafi moved into this new house, and it's beautifully landscaped. The grass in the backyard is beautiful. It's perfect for like a backyard fire. And if you go to my Instagram and you go back maybe a couple years ago or last year to Hanukkah, I went to my first like Hanukkah campfire because evidently they burn a lot of stuff in Judaism, and you'll see what a backyard party in Rafi's backyard looks like. I think you'd love it. You should come down.
Yeah. Not this weekend because I'm holding a Let's Go Rams Super Bowl party.
Whoa. Wait,
You
hold
forgot
on.
about the Super Bowl.
I didn't get an invitation.
Well, I didn't think you'd come.
I didn't get an invitation.
What, you want to come?
Hey, are we allowed to hang up on people? Or no?
Smoke up some tri-tip.
Oh my God! Don't do this.
Hang
to
out,
me.
drink some beer.
But I don't drink. I don't drink beer. There you go.
I missed tri-tip, man.
Okay, I'll get you some wine.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Can you even buy tri-tip on the East Coast?
You can, but they call it something different. I don't even know what it's called over here. But if you go to Costco, you can get
Sure.
tri-tip.
Yeah.
Costco marinated tri-tip, but
Yeah.
nowhere else. You ask a butcher over here for some tri-tip. They
Right.
don't know what you're talking.
Yeah, it's funny because when I moved to the West Coast, I was like, "What is this tri-tip?" That every time I go to a barbecue, everybody's cooking tri-tip, and I'm like, "What is this like the West Coast version of like brisket?" And
Yeah.
it's just like this crappy cut of meat that if you cook it long enough, it's pretty good. So
I love tri-tip.
yeah. All right, T-Rex, you got anything else for me, bro?
No, nothing other than I'm doing good, and I see you're doing good, and
Trying.
yeah, life's great.
All right, well, do me a favor. Email me and tell me what kind of rod it is, and I'll actually look in the garage and the, big box full of crap, and we'll see if we can hook you up.
All right, we'll do that.
All right. I'll talk with you later, man.
All right, you gentlemen have a good day.
All right.
Hey, thanks, man.
Bye.
Later, Rafi. Thanks, Miles.
Let's see. Jason Godfrey wants to know if you've ever fished Clear Lake, and if not, why?
Yeah. No, I have. I always say it, man. California has the best bass fishing in the country, but nobody, outside of California really fishes it. It's amazing to me. You got the Delta, you got Berryessa, you got, if you want to go
Bullard's-
spotted bass.
You got Bullard's Bar. Right.
Oh, I grew up in Paradise, so
Yeah.
I was always fishing Orville and going up to Shasta. I'll be honest, I didn't get to fish Clear Lake as much, but I've been there, half a dozen times. It's incredible. I love that place.
Mm-hmm.
If only the East Coast guys knew what they were missing.
It's crazy. It's such a crazy thing.
It is, man.
I just want to say hi to David Settlemeyer. He's at dinner. He's sitting at dinner at the dinner table with his wife and friends, and his wife his wife is super pissed that he's on here watching Monster Bass Live. So I just wanted to give a shout out to last week's winner. Thanks a lot for tuning in. The hotline's open. I need people to call and ask questions for your shot at winning a big box full of stuff out of the garage. But more importantly, you get to talk with Miles. Now, I got a question, Miles. Tell me about, this is a bait that I admittedly know very little about.
Right.
Tell me about this Willow Vibe.
All right, Willow Vibe, man.
Like, why?
So I got one right here. So the Willow Vibe is really cool. If I was to just blurt out what I think of the Willow Vibe when I see it, it's spotted bass, man. So the Willow Vibe, as you can see, let me get mine out here. Let me get mine out. The Willow Vibe, just as the name implies, instead of having that traditional chatterbait shaped blade, you've got this willow shaped blade. So it's a lot narrower. It has a very hectic vibration to it. The blade just goes into overdrive. As soon as you start reeling, you can reel this thing as slow as you can crank your reel handle, and that thing is just going to create so much movement and vibration. And it's just a lot more finesse. So and this actually, despite this is the heavier version,
Sure.
And despite it being a smaller package, it catches some really big spotted bass and largemouth and smallmouth too. It's just a great bait for, again, I don't know why we keep on going back to this, but appealing to fish that are focused on smaller bait fish. One of the best places that I've been to so far for fishing this bait is Logan Martin, man, which is just full of spotted bass and largemouth too. And my buddy, Joey Nania, go out there and fish quite a bit, and he's the one that really showed me what this can do to some spotted bass. It's an incredible bait, man.
So you talk about this is perfect for conditions where they're going after smaller bait fish. So is this like a perfect pond bait?
Yeah.
Or not really?
Can be. It can be. It can for sure be. If you're noticing that like your pond is just full of like, those little, mosquito eaters and little whatever, type of bait fish you got on the shoreline, that I'm sure that would work. But generally when I'm fishing it around, some bigger lakes, bigger reservoirs that have a huge population of small shad, and usually it's right after they hatch, where they're super, super tiny, and you want something that has that ultra small profile and a totally different vibration to it. So that's kind of where that bait falls into place for me.
All right. Let me ask you one other question. So I'm new to the sport. I'm going to pick up a chatterbait. When do I want to throw the chatterbait and why?
Every chance you get. I love a chatterbait for the majority of things, but I'm going to narrow it down a little bit. I know that that's a kind of a frustrating answer to just say everywhere and every time. Essentially, you got to look at what the chatterbait is designed to do. So that blade, it really does put off a lot of vibration. So when it's moving, it creates a lot of vibration. I wouldn't say a ton of flash, but it does have some flash if you got one that's kind of a metallic gold or silver finish on the blade. And because it has so much vibration, it really excels in dirtier water situations and lower visibility situations. So really using their lateral line to be able to find their prey, that's the type of situation that you want to throw a chatterbait the most, and especially in shallower water. Generally, even though the jack.
I think Miles is frozen. Either that or he's holding his breath to see who can hold it longer.
Or a half ounce. What's that?
Oh, nothing. You froze for a little bit. Oh, we lost him. All right, we're going to take a caller. I think I know who this is while we're waiting on Miles. Hello?
What's up, Rick?
What's going on,
What's
bro?
up?
How's it going, Craig?
Oh, it's good, man. I was hoping to talk to Miles.
Well, hopefully you're going to get to in a second. It looks like he's trying to join just again. It's hard to say. You know, to be completely honest, Jared's been drinking, and I think I've learned my lesson because we've never had problems with our guests and their internet service until I poured a bottle of Franciscan 2018 Cabernet, and I'm learning my lesson today, Greg. I'm sorry, but hey, the good news is Miles is back, and you can ask him your questions. So go ahead.
Hey, what's up, Miles?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, I just have two questions. First one is, you ever fish the Chatterbait Flashback Mini?
That's one that I don't think I have thrown. I actually probably threw it quite a bit ago, but not recently.
How small is
I just
that?
picked up it's an 1/8 ounce. I just found some today.
Yeah, they're small. That doesn't just because I don't fish it that much doesn't mean that it's not a great bait. I actually looking at it right now, it's actually pretty good looking. It's got that little molded soft plastic minnow on the back. Yeah.
Yeah. They had an 1/8 ounce and they had a 16th ounce. I was thinking with the cold water around a higher area, it would be pretty good right now. If you can find water without ice. But and my second question was the Chatterbait, the CFL.
Yep.
So when you change that hook out,
CFL.
So do you then have like just a free swinging hook, any hook you want? Because the skirt's attached to this hook. Okay, so what would you suggest putting on that if you change out the hook?
I would always, I always like to use like an EWG. If I'm changing it out and I want something real weedless, and most of the time my trailers are pretty wide bodied, baits. So I'm generally gonna be using an EWG in an offset shank. And again, that's kind of a necessity too because of the skirt. You want something for that skirt to catch on so it doesn't pull down the shank of the hook. But I've fished it with an EWG quite a bit. I've even tried it with the hook that it comes with the majority of the time, but if I'm looking for something where I'm maybe I have an oversized trailer or something like that I need a bigger hook, I'll switch it out there. But for the most part, I'm using the stock one.
Okay, and when you switch it out, so you don't have the skirt on the new hook?
No, you can kind of take the skirt off and you put it on, the new hook. But a lot of times, quite honestly, I like to fish it without the skirt because like fishing a swing head, like the biffle head, that's like a lot of what this appeals to me for, is using it in that type of situation. And so, a lot of times I'll just take off the skirt altogether. And another reason why is because I don't want the skirt to like create too much drag and want to bring that bait up towards the surface. So I want something a little bit more streamlined. And so a lot of times I'll just fish it with like the goat, either the goat or the billy goat, and just that, and not the skirt. And I'll be honest, I haven't fished it in the last several months, but man, there's some events that I really am looking forward to fishing it on.
Yeah, there's the Ohio River. I live close by. It's real rocky, and there's all kind of debris in there and stuff. So I'm looking forward to throwing that down there.
Do you guys
just got my box today? I'm pretty scared.
Oh, sweet. On the Ohio, do you guys have a lot of sand drops? Is it a shallow river or is it a little bit deeper? I've never fished out there.
It's shallow and deep. There's barges that run through there, so there's pretty deep spots, and then there is shallow creek channels and whatnot.
Well,
it's a good smallmouth.
Nice. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I call this bait the Wing Dam Special. Wing dams are where you want to be throwing this bait on a river system. And really any place, sand drops I mentioned up at like the Mississippi River and stuff, but like every river's got wing dams and, in some locations and I definitely throw them around the tips of wing dams or right over them.
Sweet.
Nice.
Heck yeah, Matt. Listen, thanks for the advice, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for calling in, Greg.
I appreciate it, Rick.
All right, have a good one, bro. Wait. Who's winning the Super Bowl?
Yeah. Oh, what's that?
What's your?
Who do I got for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, go ahead. I won't like it, but it's okay.
I'm taking Bengals 23-20.
Garbage.
And I'm a Steelers fan. I'm a Steelers.
I hung up on Greg. I'm sorry, Greg. All right, we're gonna go to Texas. We're gonna take a call from Chauncey's on the line. Wait, what are we doing here? Go ahead, Chauncey. Where in the world are you, and who are you saving us from?
Well, I'm down here on the border right now, and I'm actually headed home. They gave me a few days off, so I'm headed home to go see the family for a little bit.
All right. First of all, thank you for your service. Second of all, tell everyone what you mean by you're down on the border.
I'm in Texas, and the governor Abbott had 10,000 National Guard troops deployed to the border to help combat illegal immigrants coming over and cartel bringing drugs over. So that's why I'm down here.
So for those of you that aren't watching the news you're watching, let me restate that. For those of you that are watching the news and only getting the news that you're supposed to get because they only want to share with you what they want you to get, I bet you didn't even know that we got 10,000 people down on the border doing this right now. So anyways, Chauncey, thanks a lot for your service. I'm glad you're going home to see the family. What's your question for Miles?
Hey, Miles, I got two questions for you, man.
Perfect.
Since I'm down here on the border, they actually got me right on Lake Falcon. I was wondering if you've ever fished Lake Falcon.
First off, again, thank you for your service for sure. I have never fished Falcon. I haven't been to Amistad, and it's killing me. But yeah, I haven't fished either of those fisheries.
Okay. Second, I'm about to retire this time next year from the Army. And I plan on burning up a lot of big tournaments. And I was thinking about going to the MLS to try to get on that circuit.
Sweet.
What are any tips that you have to try to get my way in there and start fishing with the MLS?
I would say the best advice I can give you is go where you're the most uncomfortable. Fish against the best people that you possibly can right off the bat, and take your licks, man. Take your beatings, because it's gonna take a long time for you to build up your instincts, and you got to kind of be like. I'm not in this armed services. I haven't been in the military, but I would assume that going through and getting that training in the beginning, they're trying to break you down and then build you back up. And that's kind of what you want to do in this sport, man, is you really want to be uncomfortable. You want to do things that you don't want to just fish one lake and be the king of that lake. You want to be a versatile angler. And to do that, you've got to fish everywhere that you don't know how to fish. And that's what I did. I fished 7 or 8 different divisions of the BFLs that MLF has, and every single time I started to feel like, yeah, I'm getting this, I would actually move on to the next division, and I think that's really important, man. I think that too many people just want to do well right off the bat, and so they focus on one lake and then they get good at that. But then if you move up to the next level where you're fishing on a national scale, it becomes really difficult and becomes kind of a reality check, because you haven't put yourself in those uncomfortable positions where you learn how to overcome. I think that's the best advice I can give.
That's pretty sound advice. I'm starting to notice that because I've been fishing a lot of the trail tournaments here in Texas,
Right.
with like PTZ and Bass Chance and, Big Bass Tour and stuff like that. I've been fishing those, and I'm starting to see exactly what you're talking about. I just want to, once I retire this time next year, to really start getting into it, because I have no longer the Army holding me down. So, yeah, I definitely want to up my game a little bit. So
Are they still talking?
I
Okay,
appreciate I appreciate the advice, and I definitely know what you're talking about. I'm starting to see that.
Yeah, and I would think a really good place for you to start is, the BFLs are really good. They're really good training. They're really good because the anglers there that are fishing there, whichever division you're fishing, are the best in the region. Those guys are the most stout competition there is for that region. But also, moving up to the Toyota series. The Toyota series is also going to be really important, because also that's the doorway to the MLF Pro Circuit. And so I love the Toyota series. There's big money involved. In fact, I'm fishing a Gunnersville Toyota series. It's going to pay out $115,000 for first place, for I think a $1,600 or $1,700 entry fee. It's going to be incredible. That's if you have the Phoenix bonus money.
So, hey, Chauncey, you want?
Yeah, the last one I fished.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
I said the last one I fished before I had to come down to the border was the Sealy Big Bass Tour. It was at Fork, and they were paying out $500,000 for that one.
Yeah, they do. They put on a big show.
Wait a minute. What? Say that again.
The Sealy Big Bass Tour.
They pay $500,000.
You heard of that one? Yeah, they paid $500,000 for at Fork. That was last year. It was about it was around October, I believe, right before I had to come down here to the border.
Huh. You want my tips on what to do to get on the tour?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
You got it.
All right. You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, Chauncey. Here's what I want you to do.
All right.
I want you to forget everything that Miles said.
All right.
All I want you to do is this. It's simple. One thing. I want you to catch more. I want you to catch more fish than everybody else.
Okay.
That's it.
The only way he's going to do that is listen to me.
Well, I don't know. I told him to catch more fish. What did you tell him to do?
I gave him the foundation for catching more fish.
Listen.
All about the foundation, bro.
Really? I don't know. The Big Bass World Championship used to be fun, but they stopped it. Oh my God. I can't even comment. All right, man. Well, Chauncey, listen, I really hope that you get some good time home with the family. I really appreciate everything that you do for not only for this company, but for this country. And really grateful for you, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Chauncey.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks for the questions.
Thanks, bro. All right.
Yep. See you guys. Bye.
See ya.
All right. We got, oh my God. Let's take this one. This guy's been waiting 17 minutes. Holy cow. You're going to need to turn off the phone lines. We got to shut the phone lines off. Hello? Go ahead, caller. Tell me where you're from and what your PB is.
Hey, guys. This is David from Oklahoma. PB's around 5. I don't really keep track too much of that. I tried calling in earlier, but I had an audio issue, so I couldn't hear anything you guys said. So I missed a little chunk of the show.
Sorry, man.
But my question is, yeah, it's all good. My question is, do you ever fish the chatterbaits without a trailer on them?
Great question.
You know, I don't. And I don't have a ton of good reasons not to. Sometimes I fish them without a skirt in just the trailer. And man, let me tell you, that hunting action that we were talking about, a chatterbait, like a jackhammer without a skirt, that thing moves like crazy side to side, ton of action. But I know that a chatterbait without a trailer probably does the same thing. Man, there's just something, maybe it's my OCD, but it has to have a trailer on it, man.
Does it have to have a trailer because you think
Me-
it has to, or because it just changes the movement of the bait, the hunting action of the bait?
Well, it definitely changes the action of it. I mean, a chatterbait without a trailer is going to be a completely in those cases. But I think that the profile, I think it just had, when I say my OCD kicks in, it's because the profile has to be there. I want that body of that bait to be there. It's the same thing with a jig. Like, I can't fish a jig without a trailer. I want that thing to have like those realistic pinchers on it. You know, I need that thing to have a body to it.
Right. Yeah. We have so much muddy water here that I don't know that profile pays as much into it as action does. And that's kind of where I was coming from on that.
Yeah, well, if you have muddy water, what I would suggest is moving to something like the goat, you know, or the billy goat, because you do want a bait that has a thicker profile, you know, something that really pushes a lot of water just beyond what the blade does. And so I think it's actually even more important in dirty water to have you know, a trailer on there to have that bigger profile. But that, again, that may be just my personal preference, but I really do think it helps.
Right on. Well, I appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a good rest of your night.
Appreciate you. Thanks for calling in, man. All right. We got a couple other calls. Are you good? Are you good on time? You good for a couple other calls?
Dude, I'm here all night.
All right.
Good.
Let's go to Indiana. I'm trying to think. It's funny. I'm trying to guess at who these people are. I'm not quite sure. So let's see who it is. Go ahead, caller. Where are you calling from and what's your PB?
Hey, Rick. Gramps here.
Damn it. Fishing with Gramps. How's it going, Gramps?
So you asked my PB. My PB in Indiana is 687. My PB nationwide is from Texas. That was 876.
God.
But my questions are more technical for Miles because, you know, I've seen the Super Chat ask these questions a couple of times. So I'll go ahead and get the first one out of the way. What is your, for the jackhammer, because that's the best bait there is, no doubt about it. What is your gear ratio for throwing a jackhammer? What line size do you like?
So I like to, I'm a little bit different. There's a lot of guys that like to use a slower gear ratio, like in the 6s or something like that, which nowadays, I mean, back in the day, you had like a 0.5 gear ratio, 0.5 to 1 gear ratio, but now it's like, I remember when I first started, it was like 5 would be 5 or like 4-6 to 1 would be low. But anyways, I use a lot of 6.5 to 1s for crankbaits and such. And a lot of people think that the chatterbait works better with those slower gear ratios, but I like to use a 7.2 to 1 or something in that range. And the reason for that is that I want this, you know, I want to be able to catch up with a fish that hits this bait. A lot of times a bass is going to hit the chatterbait so hard that you just lose contact with it. And I don't feel confident that when I'm you know, fishing for those fish that are giving such an aggressive bite that I can catch up with them. So I like to use a high speed gear ratio. Well, not high, one of those moderate, you know, anything in that 7.1 to 1 gear ratio is what I use for it. And as far as
I think a lot of people don't realize that too.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say I don't think a lot of people realize don't swing when you're fishing a chatterbait reel into it and keep the pressure on, keep the line tight.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I mean, I can't. It's incredible how fast these fish, like when they come up behind this bait and they push it forward, how quickly they can start swimming. I was at Sam Rayburn for the first event of the year, and man, there was several times in practice where I had a fish, hit the bait, I lost contact with it, and the line's just, I'm reeling as fast as I can with that higher speed gear ratio reel to catch up with that fish. And so if I had a slower speed gear ratio, I'd probably never catch up with that fish, and it would have just come out of its mouth. So I like a seven speed gear ratio. And then as far as a line goes, I like to use usually no less than 15, and 20 is probably the most common size that I use. But I'll tell you, last year Seagar came out with 17-pound Tatsu, and I started using the 17 because it's like a perfect happy medium. Like I can really change the elevation of the rod tip to be able to change the depth that bait's running. So I can manage it with the rod tip, but it's still a pretty heavy line, but not too heavy that it won't be able to get down a deeper depth. So I think, a traditional chatterbait, now something like the Willow Vibe, those are all going to be a little bit different, lighter line situations. But the jackhammer, the cross-eyes chatterbait, the CFL, any of those other chatterbaits that are made for heavy cover, I'm using pretty heavy line.
Now, how many different chatterbait rods do you have, and are you a glass chatterbait rod guy or just the regular graphite, medium heavy or heavy, depending on what are you open water or around grass? What are your go-to rod actions for your jackhammers?
I feel like you watch my YouTube channel and you're just keying up videos that I've recently done. I actually
I do a lot of videos on jackhammers as well, so we might be just in the same tune.
right. Yeah, so I don't like composite rods for a chatterbait. There's so many guys that will disagree with me, and one of the best chatterbait fishermen, if not the best chatterbait fisherman out there, B Height, man. Brett Height, he fishes he fishes a composite, and he swears by it, and I think he uses a slower speed gear ratio. So I can't really argue with him. That's his personal preference, but personally, for a lot of the same reasons I use that reel in the 7.1-to-1 gear ratio, that 7 range. I like to use a graphite rod for being able to catch up with those fish quick because I have that faster action. And then I also like to have the graphite because I can feel it better. I can feel it go through the grass a lot better, and I can free it up from any snags that I have a lot easier. I can snap the rod tip, and I just always got frustrated with composite rods because I felt like, even though a chatterbait can clear itself of hydrilla or grass real easy, like I feel like it was a lot harder with a composite rod. And honestly, man, I don't have any problems landing fish on a chatterbait with a fiber or a graphite rod. I use a 7.3 medium heavy a Versus series from Fitzgerald, and that is by far my favorite chatterbait rod.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm kind of like you. I'm just an old farter who used to fish tournaments, but I have one that's it's a glass with the slower gear ratio. But I also have a medium heavy with a 7-speed too. So for me, it's just situational. But I just wanted to pick your brain because I know a lot of people, when they get these boxes and they may get the Thunder Crickets or the chatterbaits and now stuff like this too, they don't always know kind of what gear to throw those on. So it's cool to have a pro like you come on and talk about the various different options so they can match it up with gear that they may have. But I appreciate your time, man. Glad to see you on, and glad to see Z-Man take over the box this month. It's awesome.
Thank
you so much, man. Appreciate it.
That's Gramps, and he's a good dude.
All right, y'all.
All
right, y'all take care.
All right, Gramps. We'll see you later.
Thank you, brother.
Gramps is a good dude. And let's see what we got next. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here. So our next caller has called in more times than anybody else. We're gonna talk a little bit about. He's gonna have some questions about Z-Man baits. I'm gonna have questions about what his mom made him for dinner. He might not even get to it because his mom might come a calling, and if she comes a calling, he's gonna hang up because I don't know, maybe he gets the belt or something. But I don't know. I don't know. But we're gonna go to East Dublin, Georgia, and talk to Brendan Brown.
Right on.
Go ahead, bro. What's up?
What's going on?
How are
Hope
you?
you both are doing good.
I'm doing great.
Doing great.
I'm
How
doing great.
yourself?
What's for dinner?
Well, just finished dinner, and that was breakfast burritos.
Wait, your mom made
What?
breakfast burritos?
I know, it's weird, but yeah, it's basically just eggs, cheese, hash browns, and bacon, sausage, all rolled up into a burrito. And I have to say, it was amazing.
Let me ask you a question. Do you
Never tried it.
I don't know. I don't know where you live. Like, so forgive me for being naive, but like, do you like kill your own pigs and make your own bacon, or is she buying it at the store?
So we get them from a farmer actually that lives north of us. So we get them real fresh, which is good. And then my mom slices the bacon herself.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, fresh stuff.
Can we do do you have enough land at your house where like we could come and do like, I don't know, we all camp in the backyard, have a fire and go fishing? Or would your mom be totally upset?
Heck yeah, we could do that. We've got more than enough.
All right, hold on.
property to do that.
Before you answer that, I appreciate the enthusiastic, heck yeah, we could do that. But like, you got to ask your mom.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That'd be...
Okay. Enough about me. Enough about me. Ask your questions for Miles.
So, what is your dream fishing trip? Like, you could go anywhere in the world. Where would you go, and what fish would you target?
Man, I really want to go to Nova Scotia and fish for some giant tuna. Man. That's something I really want to do, and I also have to say Costa Rica or the Amazon for some peacock bass, man. Both of them.
Yeah, that's what I really want to do eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And what?
Go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead. Oh no, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I've been pretty lucky to like travel around a lot. I actually guide in Alaska. I've been doing that since 2005. The night I graduated high school, I went up to Southeast Alaska and started working at a lodge. So, that one got off the bucket pretty early. So now I'm on to peacock bass.
Have you ever had any close encounters with bears up there?
Every day we go out on the river. Every day. Even when we're not on the river, sometimes they come out. We have them around the camp sometimes.
Oh yeah, I bet they come over there with all the trash and whatnot. Food and everything. Yeah.
The amazing thing is we've never had any bears get into any of our trash. It's kind of weird. They only come around because we have a creek that runs through our lodge area that actually has a run of pink salmon. So they're there for the salmon. They are not. These are 100% wild salmon or bear. Man, they're not like Kodak bears that have trash around them. These are like they could care less about trash. It's weird.
Well, I guess if you had fresh salmon right over there in the stream, I would rather eat that than trash.
That's right.
Come on. I know you got a second question.
So what is your favorite chatterbait trailer? What is your favorite chatterbait trailer?
So,
because I know if you just got regular swim baits, it doesn't work.
I've got like, this is a two-part answer because I've got two favorite chatterbait trailers. So early season and cold, I like the razor shads because a lot of times I'm letting it fall and yo-yo, and it has that glide like we talked about a little bit earlier. And then my second favorite, which was the OG for me, is the Diesel Minnows. The Diesel Minnows just the best, and I like the 4-inch version, man. That on the back of a chatterbait, it just doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, those have a good action on them.
Yeah, they do, and they last forever.
Yeah, that's one of the best things about Z-Man baits. They last forever, especially good for beginners and if you're on a budget, which is awesome. So
for sure.
And have you ever messed with any like the JDM chatterbaits? Go ahead.
What was the question?
Have you ever messed around with any of the JDM chatterbaits before?
I mean, I really haven't. I mean, the jackhammer is made in Japan, so that's about the only one.
Yeah.
I got an entire education. I got an entire education on JDM jackhammers. So actually, never mind. Never mind. But I do have a question here. Can I interrupt you, Brendan, again?
Yeah, I don't care.
I actually have a question here for Ralph. I actually have Rafi's on the line. So Miles, you don't know Rafi. Rafi is the fish whisperer. So we sent Rafi down to somewhere in the southeast to teach like guys like Alex Rudd, Mikey Balls, Kevin Van Dam, and a few others. He taught them how to use a bait caster. And so he's calling in with a question. Yeah, he's calling in with a question. He wants to know what your opinion of Matty Wong is.
Who?
See?
I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right, good. We're good to go. Brendan, next question.
What is your favorite way to target bass? Like what is your favorite technique to do? I'm assuming it's a chatterbait.
You know, it is and it isn't. Like, so in tournaments lately, in the last like 3 years, I've made more money off of chatterbait than flipping and pitching. But when I can put a flipping stick in my hand and throw the palmetto bugs, the goat or whatever I'm flipping, that's when I'm happiest, and I feel like I get in the zone like that. And so I prefer flipping and pitching, but in tournament fishing, man, there's rarely situations where, it seems like I very rarely get to go to a lake that the flip and bite is really on, where you're just dialed in on a flip and bite. Like Okeechobee last year, was a situation where I got to go flip, finish sixth there. Same thing at the Harris Chain the year before. So it's like, I'm in heaven when I can flip.
Yeah, I think flipping is definitely one of my favorite techniques as well. I love skipping baits like under the trees and things, and then the fish just blow up on them like crazy. That's always something fun to do. Yeah, and down here we have a lot of trees, so around the water. So it makes a lot of fun for flipping bites and everything. Yeah.
Well, Brent,
well, I'll let you guys go.
Thanks, bro.
Yep. Thank you guys.
All right.
And
hey,
you both have a wonderful night.
Thanks, you too. But make sure
you
man. Do me a favor. Just float the idea by your mom. Just float the idea by your mom that I'm going to show up with, 25 people, camp in the backyard, have a big fire. We might be a little loud at night, but I promise no matter what she makes, I'm going to love it, especially the ham.
Yep.
All right.
I might be able to get her to make steaks.
But I said ham.
All right then.
You told me that you told me that your mom makes like really good ham.
Oh yeah, not as good as her steaks though.
All right, fine. Then I'll have ham one night and steaks the other night. Just make sure
Sounds good.
All right, thanks, bro.
Yep. You guys have a good one.
You too, man. Thanks for calling in. All right, that was Brendan Brown. He is the man, and we got 2 more calls. And then we got some golden tickets to give away. I'm nervous about the next 2 because I can't tell who they are. They've each called in a total of 7 times. See, Miles, I get a little nervous because sometimes I start to recognize the numbers, and then like, you know, I got this one guy out of. I'm just gonna change the state. I got this one guy out of Georgia that calls up drunk all the time. He's like, "I'm fishing a tournament this weekend. Rick, tell me what I gotta throw." And I'm like, "You want me to tell you?" I'm like, "Sure." So, you know, it's the funniest thing. So I got 2 more calls. Like, I'm not quite sure who they are. One's been on hold for 33 minutes, so we're gonna take this call.
God,
dude, bro,
you're worse than the customer service line at my bank.
Oh, I got nervous for a minute. Bethany was about to pull out the shotgun, and she was about to hand it to Alex, and Alex was going to come hunt you down because I thought you were going to a place where we do not go, because my customer service team is rock solid. But we are going to we're going to take this call 34 minutes, and we're going to see who it is. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Oof. By the way, what where are you staying at? Like a
Quality Inn.
Quality Inn. They got a buffet or anything?
Not early enough for us to
Oh my God.
eat at it.
Where's your wife right now? Is she with you or are you by yourself?
He's in Tennessee.
All right.
Yeah. She didn't get to go on this trip.
So are you gonna go out and have a couple road pops later, or are you calling it a night?
Man, I think I'm gonna call it a night. I should have gone to the grocery store and got some.
See, Rafi, if you're listening, like we've talked about this before. We need to make sure that our guests get like a gift pack from Omaha Steaks and a 12-pack from whatever. I don't care. Natty Light, Bush Light. We go all Sam Moore on everybody and get him the Bush whatever that he likes. I can't remember what it was. But we got to get our guests something so they can sit there and, you know, they can have a good night like me. I'm drinking water from Liquid Death.
Yeah, you should be sending us a flight of beer.
I could probably send you. I bet I could get a case of Liquid Death if you want
there
water.
There you go.
But
Dude, I'm telling you, when I was at the Potomac, I had Liquid Death for the first time. I loved it. I like
it's water. What's there to like?
They got a sparkling version.
Nah, you're ridiculous.
I love the sparkling version.
35 minutes this guy's been waiting. Let's move on to this guy. Go ahead, caller. Where are you from and what's your PB?
Okay, you know I'm coming near the SoFi Stadium here in Los Angeles, in Inglewood, California, near the SoFi Stadium. It is Mr. Gambit. You know right now, for sure, the Super Bowl will be held this weekend, and Mr. Gambit is ready to let you guys in on some super deals. Rick, you know you've given everybody a great chance to come on board and get $200 gift card and get some of your stuff out of your garage, and he's going to send you a bunch of stuff. So everybody should be on board now to get some of Rick's stuff. At this time, you know, I'm going to hype and do a little housekeeping for Monster Bass. Monster Bass already sent me a text telling me about a great deal. Now, if you're not on that Monster Bass VIP list, you got to get that VIP list and get on that thing. That thing, he will send you out a message and let you be in on some fantastic deals. The deal he just sent today was a Bait Labs Rocket Shad 5-pack for $19.99, and it's normally $42.45, which is over a $20 savings. So half off on those crankbait that he's offering you. If you're not on that VIP list, you may be losing out. But if you're on that VIP list, you know you got your text already. You just got to text back with the number of how many packs of those you want. At this time, Miles Burghoff, he should be called Mr. Sweetwater himself or Sweet Miles Burghoff. He got to change his brand name because I know he's going to bump himself up to the Bass Pro Circuit and get on that Bass Pro Circuit and catch some big fish like the guys did today. Randy Howell took in a 12.11 ounce bass today, and that looked fun. Now, you came from California, where I'm out here, and you know how highly pressured our waters are. You'll do well on that big tour when you step it up there, and I want you to change that brand name to Mr. Sweetwater himself. What you going on, Rick? Now, I know you're doing some fantastic deals, so I'm just going to let you do the deals because everybody appreciates Rick Petrie. He is man.
Whoa!
Okay. First of all, if you're going to give away all my stuff, And I appreciate you very much. You call in every week and you give away my stuff. You make me, Miles, he calls in every week and he's like, can you give away your hat for like $5? And I got to give away my hats. Like, actually, I don't have to, but for whatever reason, whatever he says, I do. All right, so, Mr. Gambit, my last name is pronounced Patry. So, we got to get that straight if we're going to start giving away stuff. So, this week, I'm not giving away crap because I'm mad at you now. I'm not really.
Okay, my bad.
I'm not really mad. I'm not really mad at you.
I'm from Georgia originally, so don't be mad at me. I'm a country boy in California for a few decades now, so give me a break.
I'm not really mad. What I want to know is this: what are you serving at your Super Bowl party? Because my guess is that you probably are having a Super Bowl party.
Yes, it's a Super Bowl party, but my little boys are rich. They got their own little executive apartments now. So I'm going to my kid's place, and we're going to do steaks. And basically, he's in charge of grilling the steaks and ribeyes. So at this time, I'm going to go down to his place early Sunday morning, play with the grandkids, and then wait for those steaks to get cooked in the afternoon and watch the game. So we know the Rams should win 28-21. We're looking forward to the Rams taking this thing so we can all celebrate in Southern California with another championship.
Yeah, we're flipping cars and burning down something. Actually, I hope not. I'm just saying that. I hope not. Okay.
Well, yeah, exactly. I'm telling you right now, Mr. Sweetwater himself, when you go up there, just know, you'll be forever Mr. Sweetwater when you bump up to that Bass Pro Tour and you go out there. That's what we're going to call you, Mr. Sweetwater. So get ready to change your name and be that Mr. Sweet Miles Burghoff. It's going to the Bass Pro Big Five, moving up to the big leagues and coming on to get as many fish as he can with those guys.
I'm going to hire you as my hype man, man.
Listen,
awesome.
Mr. Gambit, for those that are, listening at home that may want to hire you as their pitch man, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Mr. Gambit 2000 is my Instagram, and I'll leave a number and give it to your producer and or Ralphie. They'll put you in touch with me, man, anytime you want me to come on and say, welcome to Sweetwater Bass, with the baddest guy around, catching all the big bass in the southeast corner of the United States. Now, Rick, he didn't tell you, if you haven't watched Sweetwater, that show, this dude has the best resort sites he goes and fish at. He fishes at these cool laid-back places. If you want to put together a thing and invite me to one of those places, I'm on board, man. I'm telling you, those places are laid back. They're private. You get all to catch the fish, and they're really nice, man. If you haven't seen what they're doing in the South with those kind of private places, those places are good to fish at and good to eat at.
Thanks a lot for calling in, man. I really appreciate you. And I hope you and your family and little grandkids, I hope you guys have the best Super Bowl party ever. That's Mr. Gambit, and
yeah, thanks for calling, man. That was awesome.
He's got a lot of energy. One of these days. So, if I may, the last 3 episodes, Miles, we had Jason Christie calling in from a deer deer stand,
Ooh.
and we are not calling in, like in the chat. Then we had Jason Christie and his wife and the kids all in the car. In the chat. And tonight we got Jason Christie, and for all I know, he's solo. I think we need Jason Christie to call in and ask you some challenging questions, because if not, we're gonna sit here, I'm gonna ask you questions like Stone Cold or The Rock.
The Rock.
No. Okay. All right. If that's what you're going to do, we're going to go straight to Springfield, Illinois, and we're going to see what there is. Go ahead, caller. What do you got for Miles?
Hey, Rick.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Ray Larson. How you doing?
Ray, how are you, man?
I'm good. How you doing? So, Miles, the question I got, at what point water temperature do you like throwing the chatterbait? Like it's going from winter to spring. Great. When would you start throwing it?
So I don't really have a exact water temperature that I start throwing a chatterbait. In fact, I throw it in every single water temperature. It just depends on where the fish are. You know, if the fish are around the last remaining grass when the water temperature is in the high 40s or something like that, I'm still going to throw a chatterbait, just slow roll it, or fish it like a yo-yo technique, something like that. And then during the summertime, those fish are going to be in the grass, guaranteed. If there's grass, I'm going to be catching some bass out of it. And so I wouldn't limit yourself by putting a temperature on it. I fish the chatterbait every single water temperature out there, as long as the situation fits. I got a little bit of stained water. The fish are up fairly shallow, and you've got some type of cover, whether it's grass or docks or wood, and of course wood, you want to use something like the cross eyes that has the brush guard on there, but it really has to do with where they're located more so than the water temperature.
So, like, March, Lake of the Ozarks, you're throwing that chatterbait.
Well, I mean, there's
no grass there.
Okay, yeah.
Right? There's no grass there. So that's why I'm Midwest guy, so that's, a lot of the, Table Rock, Lake of the Ozarks, Grant, there's no grass in the lakes.
Right. Yeah, the only time that I throw a chatterbait in those type of lakes, like Table Rock, I have a lot of experience on, is like if I'm going way up a creek somewhere, and you start getting some stained and muddy water, that's when I'm going to be fishing a chatterbait, because still a chatterbait, even if there's no grass around there, those fish are going to, in dirtier water, they're going to gravitate towards shallower water generally, and be really, really glued to targets like wood targets or something like that. And I like throwing a chatterbait, man. I love, feeling that blade vibrate until a fish eats it. And it works really good. And I've caught a ton of fish on Table Rock with a chatterbait, but it's all been up the creeks. If you're fishing the main lake, it's generally not going to be my first choice. Switch to like a crankbait or
if,
maybe,
like I say, even if you're up the creek at 45 degrees, I mean, if you're going up the Kings, are you going to pick up that chatterbait at 45 degree water in March?
For sure. If you're trolling motor, if you're in 4 foot or less, and that's where you're trying to catch those fish, if you think that the fish are there, I'm definitely going to be throwing a chatterbait around those, any targets that I find.
So, and then you're still doing that fast retrieve with that 45 degree water.
No, I still use the same reel, so a faster retrieve reel, but I'm going to slow down the retrieve quite a bit. And I don't want to Yeah, there's no definitives in fishing, so I don't want to say that I always use a 7.2 to 1 gear ratio reel, but the majority of the time I do. But if I'm fishing ultra cold water and I feel like I need to really slow roll that bait and I need to force myself to do it, then I might go to a slower speed gear ratio. But usually I can control myself and just slowly reel that higher speed gear ratio reel.
Okay. So, like, since we're talking about Table Rock, then would you pick up the clear blade? Would you be using the clear blade in Table Rock at that time of year? Or when would you pick up that bait to use that?
The clear blade is definitely, so he's talking about the jackhammer stealth blade. So the stealth blade, that clear blade, it's actually a smaller blade than a regular jackhammer, and it creates a very subtle vibration. So I almost use it in the same situations I would use a swim jig. So yeah, I would definitely cast it around clear water and reel it fast, where you're trying to get that reaction bite. It's something a little bit different that fish that maybe have seen a lot of swim jigs, have seen, especially during like right before the spawn and right after the spawn. Those are good times to throw a swim jig, and even during the spawn too, you can get a reaction out of fish on the bed. But the stealth blade does really good in those situations. It's not as good of a grass chatterbait. It goes through grass fine, but I prefer it in place of a swim jig, so something just a little bit different. So yeah, I would definitely use it, but I'm not gonna be throwing it at a point or something like that. On table rock, it's gonna be like I'm moving into the back of a pocket, so that's usually when in the spring when those fish are moving back there.
Okay. So would you say the stealth blade is something that is a go-to for you, or not so much? I mean, because it's relatively new. I'm just trying to feel like if that's something I should have on my deck using that stealth blade, is that going to get me more bites?
In your region, for the lakes that you fish, I think the stealth blade is going to be really, really useful for you. I haven't used it as much, but I've started to use it in those situations because at first I started using it the same way interchangeably with the regular jackhammer, but recently I started using it interchangeably with the swim jig. So so it's definitely not as big, for me as the jackhammer is, but it's something that is going to give you something completely different, and I think it's important to have for sure.
So, and I know we're talking a lot of Z-Man. So if we looked at the stealth blade for the fall, is that something you would maybe pick up and pull the skirt off and put like a junior fluke on and run that, in the creeks in the fall? Would that be a good option?
Yeah. I mean, I honestly haven't pulled the skirt off of it yet, but now that you say it, it probably would. I wouldn't say that it would just be limited to the fall either. I mean, I would definitely try it, especially if you're up north. The pike will, even with the tied skirts, pike will break right through anything. So I have several jackhammers that don't have skirts because of pike, and and jackhammers are like the last bait to lose their skirt because they have that copper wire that they're tied with. But
right,
I would definitely try it. I mean, I definitely am not going to say that it's not going to work. That's for sure.
Hey, man.
Okay, that's great.
Great questions. I appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much. Miles.
Yeah.
God, I've kept you here for 97 minutes. I mean,
dude, we're talking fishing.
We are talking fishing. It looks like we got one more caller who's going to call in.
Let's do it.
I don't know. Are you ready to go one-on-one with Jason Christie?
Let's do it.
He says he's calling in. He says he's got really tough questions for you. Either that, or I've got the tough questions for him, because I'm ready to throw down with Jason Christie. I think that if Rafi sends him, if we send Rafi down to Jason Christie, and we give Jason Christie a week with Rafi, I think he takes me. But I think I can take Jason Christie. I don't know. Rafi, what do you think? You're gonna give him all the secrets? You're gonna give him all the secrets on how to catch fish? We might need to get Rafi on the show one time, just one time. He is a talented MFer. He is. All right, we're gonna put Jason Christie on the clock. We're gonna give him 2 minutes, because if you can't call in, that's fine, because I get it.
2 minutes.
Yeah, well, 2 minutes, because Rafi's got to go. Or I mean, Fixie's got to go. Fixie's girl is she's tapped into source, and so what that means is sometimes the universe conspires on her behalf, and sometimes the universe conspires to give her a hard time. He's giving her a hard time today, and so he's got to go and take care of her. He's got to hold some space and make sure she's good.
I dig it.
So, uh-oh. I think he's calling in. This is exciting. Hey, do you got a hard bait sponsor, Miles?
I do not.
Hey, Rafi.
As far as like prick baits, jerk baits.
Yeah. Rafi, do you hear that? Get on this shit. I mean, get on it. We're on a delay, right? Right, Fixie? Nobody. Yeah, nobody heard that, right? All right, good.
This is the after hours. You can
That's
say
right.
whatever you want.
It's like Big Brother after dark. God, I love Big Brother. That's my dream. My dream would be to go on Big Brother. I've watched every episode that there's ever been. It is like my It says he's on hold. Hold on. No, it says he's on hold. Come on. I believe Jason Christie over you. It says he's on hold. Look.
How is he on hold?
Dude, I don't know, but he's Jason Christie. He's not lying. Are you calling Jason Christie a liar?
Let go of the mouse.
Okay, I'm letting go.
I don't see anybody on hold.
Open up the hotline.
The hotline's open.
It's not. It says offline.
Okay, fine. I'll bring it on.
Open it up. Don't. Dude, if Jason Christie gets pissed at me, we're in big trouble.
I don't want Jason Christie pissed at me either.
No. He's going to go all sorts of like.
There are no calls.
God damn it. How do we call him? Can we call him direct? You can? If I only had his phone number. I don't have his phone number though. See, even Rafi wants to know if Fix is calling Jason Christie a liar. God, Fix, you're going to ruin the show. This show is going to go down the tank. First of all, you started drinking online. Our guests couldn't get through, and now Jason Christie's on hold. You know what? Look it. Hold on. Just so we're clear. One on angling said it best. Epic fail. Epic fail. Oh my God, we are gonna go. He's gonna like hate us. Oh, I think I just got a text message from Jason Christie. He said, "Give me Fix's address." Oh my God, we're going straight to hell. This is bad. This is really bad. Oh my God. So for those of you at home, while I'm waiting for Jason Christie to call in, I'm also looking for a podcast producer. And one that doesn't drink, one that doesn't put Jason Christie on hold. Nobody puts Jason Christie in the corner. Nobody puts Jason Christie in the corner. Fix. I don't understand. We got a problem here. See, even Jason Christie just said, "Who is Fix again?" This is the worst. God, you know, last time he was in a tree stand, the week before he was with his wife and the kids, and now
he's bunker.
You can't even call in.
No reception.
Hold on, we're gonna find out right now. We're gonna find out if Fix is full of crap, guys. Yeah, I'm calling the hotline myself, and if I don't get in, then we know. Oh, shoot.
Oh, I'm charging double.
Hold on. Hello? Is this Johnny? Yeah, hey, so I was in a Bass Pro Shops last week. And do me a favor. Can you call into a... Wait, you're watching MONSTERBASS Live right now? All right, hold on. Johnny Morris. I'm sorry. I'm going to hang up on you because I need to talk to Jason Christie. I got to go. All right, bye. All right, folks. I just hung up on Johnny Morris. I hope he's not upset, but I need... It might be Jason Christie's phone service. I might have to give... Oh, God. Rafi, do we have budget to give Fixie a raise? Because we're going to need to do something. HR is going to be so pissed at me. I have to go to the bathroom. Fix has to leave in 5 minutes. This is really... Folks, we got a lot of people sitting here online waiting to see if Jason Christie can stump Miles Burghoff. This is like the Super Bowl of bass trivia. I don't even think that Miles knows what he signed up for.
Which one am I?
I don't know. Ooh, who do you want to be?
I don't know.
All right. Once
neither.
again, it looks like it might be Jason Christie's phone service. I might have to go online and actually apologize to Fix publicly for the casting call that seems to be a weekly occurrence. Yeah. All right. Golden tickets. G10512E7583. I'll save the last one for later on. Man, I think Rafi said it best. We may have hit our lowest point in the show's history. I think, Rafi, we need to unpack this at the men's team meeting next week.
I choose not to.
All right, well, Miles, I want to say thank you for taking the time to be a part of our shenanigans, talk about all things Z-Man. I think it was really great catching up, man. And
yeah,
I would love to let me talk to Rafi and figure out what the deal is with Chickamauga and what we're doing, because I know we're going to have a pretty good get together. Should be a good time.
Sweet. If I'm in town, hopefully I'm in town.
Probably not. I saw your little schedule at the beginning of the show. So for those of you tuning in, Miles won't be in town. Conveniently.
Do you know what month it is?
No, I have no idea. I think it's the end of March.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I'll do my best because I'd love to see you guys. But no, man, I really appreciate you having me on, man. It was fun, talking fishing, talking shop.
Yeah, I appreciate you calling in and being a part of it, supporting your sponsor Z-Man, because we really appreciate Z-Man, and we really appreciate you, taking the last hour and a half out of your day. And I hope you have one heck of a season. I wish the best for you and your family, and hopefully we can catch up soon in person.
I appreciate it, man. I do want to welcome, everybody that's on here tonight. I've been doing videos 3 times a week on my YouTube channel, Sonar Fishing. So go check me out there. And man, I'd love to have you guys over and asking questions over there as well.
Definitely go head over to actually anywhere on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Sonar Fishing. Hit him up and check out his content. He makes great stuff. And don't forget, Sweetwater TV on Sportsman Channel. Thanks a lot, man.
Right on.
And we'll catch up with you soon.
All right. Sounds good. Much love.
All right.
Thanks,
take
guys.
care, man. God, that was Miles. Miles. Good dude. I like good dudes. We always have good dudes on the show. And one of these days, what's his name? Jason Christie? That guy? What I want to know is who is it? Who is it? Somebody's faking. They're pretending it's Jason. All right. Open call, Jason. We'll put you as a guest anytime you want. We'll talk fishing, and we can go live on air with a sponsorship conversation and see if we can make some magic happen, because I don't know. I'm pretty excited about the opportunity. And I know 6X is, and we're ready to roll. So let's make it happen. Rafi, we got to get Jason Christie on the line. We got to get him on the show. Let's make this happen. Jason, all you got to do is email me at rick@monsterbass.com. And let's have a conversation. All right, guys, listen. We've gone way over time. I got to get Fixie out of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. The last golden ticket of the night is Q2704J2180. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Had a great time with you guys today. Appreciate you spending the last 2 hours with me. And I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Next week, I'm going to, I'm having a birthday party for my good friend. His kid's turning 18, and he's played a lot of Grand Theft Auto in his day, so he wants to see, wants to go to Hooters and eat some wings. I'll leave it at that. Till next week, thank you. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you haven't gotten this month's Z-Man box, hook yourself up, because it's going to sell out really quick. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks a lot.